So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my really great honor and privilege to introduce you the next speaker, Randy Schekman. So actually, when we started this program, this was very clear. Our aim is to nurture young people and to nurture you during your career. And one of the most important reasons for that is that your childhood can determine actually your success. So actually, if I look at Randy Schekman's life, he got a toy in a hidden world at the beginning of his career. Actually, he saved money during his childhood, but he saved this money to buy a toy, a microscope. And actually, most probably, he will tell you the story later, but he had to protect his money from his mother, not to spend in the grocery for anything else. And actually, this is where curiosity comes. When he put everything under microscopes, he realized that the world is much bigger than we can see by our eyes. So actually, Randy Schekman was born in Minnesota, and after his childhood really improved his career. And where curiosity met recognition, it's also very important that he's one of the teachers actually had a huge importance in his life. He had made science attractive for him during his career. So training, he went to the University of California, Los Angeles as an undergraduate student, and one of the reasons, as far as I understood, he chose Los Angeles because basketball, because he loved basketball and he could visit it very well. Later on, he moved to Scotland, after Stanford, and after came back to Berkeley. And you need mentors, you need technology development, your career. And actually, as a pancreatologist, I cannot bring a better example for leadership, because there was George Emil Palade, which we celebrated his 50 years anniversary of his Nobel Prize 2 years ago, actually developed a completely new technology which for the very first time allowed us to look inside the cell more details. And actually this let us and let everybody change the molecular biology platform. So the discovery, after he used this technology as well, and he wanted to understand how these intracellular organelles are working inside the cell. And one of the most important questions he asked, actually how these cells transport proteins. And actually what he looked at, that certain mutations actually disrupted this process and discovered the gene which was responsible for it. And here is his very elegant experiments, which was published years ago, which he showed that certain mutations can stop this process, and if this process stops, the cell dies. Not surprisingly, this was a huge change in vesicle transport inside the cells, and with Thomas Südhoff, they received the Nobel Prize in 2013. And as my opening speech, I show you the transition from discovery science to translational research, because always somebody needs to recognize the knowledge you generate for translating it for human benefit. And I think his example, why discovery science is unbelievably important and policymakers should put huge amount of money in it, that currently the whole biotechnology was developed by his discovery in protein synthesis. And now in diabetes, when the patients need insulin, till 1/3 of the insulin production actually is doing with his discovery. And of course, the childhood is important. So the father's face, who always believed that he is a genius and will receive a Nobel Prize, and he actually got it. And he not only a brilliant scientist, but we could see earlier with Ferenc Krausz going to Ukraine and try to fight for ethical things to move the world forward. He is a really great fighter against the publication policy we have, because what's happening? People, we scientists writing articles, and what the journals do, they ask again for free reviewers to do it, and they not only have your paper for free, not only asking for free the reviewers, but after they gain money from your work. And even if you would like to read a paper, you also need to pay for it. So this business is not really good for scientists. So not surprisingly, he was the initiator of the eLife journal, which is an open access, because he strongly believed that science should be for everybody for free. So not surprisingly, during his career, he received plenty of prizes. And actually, people would think that the Nobel Prize was the biggest one, but not. Definitely not. There is one prize you may not recognize, which is more difficult to get in Nobel Prize, and you can get it only if you receive the Nobel Prize. And when he returned to Berkeley, the chancellor gave the biggest prize, because at Berkeley you can have a lifetime parking permit only if you are a Nobel laureate. And when he wanted to recruit students from the MIT postdocs, and the postdoc asked, what else you can put to my contract to motivate me to come? It's very easy for me. We just will put to your contract, if you win the Nobel Prize, you will get a lifetime parking permits. So Randy has been here for many, many years. We are so thankful for Randy not only being here, but also giving unbelievable advice, visiting laboratories, spending his very valuable time. So we cannot be thankful enough for him to be here. So it's really, really a great honor and exceptional gift from Randy for being here for many, many days. Thank you, Randy. The stage is yours, and we cannot be thankful enough for you.